Hello everyone, SirMonkeySuit Zappy here, back again with The Promised Neverland. We're on episode 2. Sorry for the wait. I know I was supposed to react to it last week, but I couldn't. But we're back now. So so last week people kindly pointed out that the title of the episode was actually the date that it took place on. And I've actually seen the title for episode 2 is the next day. It's 13/10/45. The thing that threw me off on it was the fact that I'm assuming it goes day, month, year. It would still work month, day, year. But the thing that threw me off is Japanese date order usually goes year, month, day. So when I was looking at it, I was like, well, hold on, that would mean that in this world there would be a month that had 45 days in it. So that's what threw me off. But yeah, people there was, like, I think it was mentioned on the calendar. So yeah, there's that's the evidence to put forth, and yeah, so this episode it's 13 instead of 12, so it's the day after. I'm guessing since they've done it with these first 2 episodes that the rest of the episodes are going to be the exact same. I think that's probably their way of keeping track of like what day we're kind of on, which makes me think that there's never going to be an episode where there's a significant like time jump in the episode itself. Like, we're not going to see it like, in one episode. I guess we're going to be staying in one day every episode. I mean, they could change it up. It'll be but anyway, yeah. So yeah, they've basically been told that they're there as some kind of orphanage, and in some cases they still could be. I'm guessing that's what they're being told by, like, by the mother and whatnot, because I think, if I remember correctly, they said that they grew up, that like they weren't like given to the orphanage at a significant age where they remember. I think the only thing that they remember is growing up here, right? So in some way, I don't know where they would come from. I don't know if like there is a case of, because clearly they don't work the same as like, regular cattle farms in our world. Like, these kids aren't grown up to like breed and and things like that. You know what I mean? So it's just a weird thought, in it, thinking about kids and breeding and shit. So I don't know like where they come from exactly. We're gonna have to get more information on, like, which I don't think we're going to get this season, is like information outside of this place that they're in. So I don't know if they are being born inside the walls, and there's like, because there's always that possibility of like inside the walls there's that little fence, right? And they were told not to go over there. That there may be like, a case of some people living there that, I don't know, maybe are giving birth to them and know all this is happening. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Yeah, so I will continue to say fuck you guys that want me to react to this, because fucking course it's gonna be we knew going in that there was always gonna be dark undertones, because every fucking time there's like the main cast is predominantly children, it's gonna be dark undertones, because the Japanese fucking love that for some reason. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we get in this episode, especially involving Ray, because he's he's the one that sticks out to me. And I think he does to most people, because he's not he seems like the black sheep out of the 3. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see what his take is on it. He for some reason, just the way that he sort of talks, like what we've seen of him, he seems to know more than he lets on, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, so we're going to get into episode 2 of The Promised Neverland. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, episode 2. That ending, by the way, sounds a lot like the same people that do the Tokyo Ghoul re-opening. The woman sounds exactly the same. Alright, well, from the start, yeah, I was saying I love the visual stylistic choices, like, of the way that they the way that they kind of show like perspective, the two times that it has happened, it does focus a lot on time, which I've noticed. Which obviously the clock, like almost like putting a camera on a pendulum, and watching it go. I like that. And then in the first one, there was one where it literally showed a clock behind Norman when he was out looking for Emma, I believe. So yeah, I think there's a big sort of emphasis on time in this show, and I think obviously a lot of it revolves around the fact that they've got 2 months to get out of there. So it's all based on time, and how long they've got to do it. A number of things that were like running through my head of like, well, right, so it's going to be like a sort of a prison break type thing, which I love, because I love that sort of it's something about like the planning and setup that I really like. Like there's something like very I don't even know what the feeling is, but like you kind of get a feeling of like pressure, sort of like, oh shit, is this going to work out? You know what I mean? Like there's so many like factors and variables to take into account, and now especially with the fact that some reinforcements have turned up. Sister Crone, whoever clearly she's been brought in because obviously Isabella knows that something's up, and she can't do everything by herself. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. So they said 2 months, so I mean that is a rough sort of estimate, right? I mean, I'm guessing they've taken it. You know, he was mentioning that there were people for like Sadie and whatnot. That I guess it's been 2 months between every time that's happened, like every time that someone's been taken. But you know what it is, I can guarantee, right, that at some point in this show, like about a month in, that somebody else will be taken. You know what I mean? And that'll be like a sort of like one of those moments that like really trip up the protagonists and stuff, and like make them have to think on their feet a lot more. It adds a lot more like tension and pressure and stuff to get things done quicker. You can tell, I can already see that happening. But yeah, the whole meat grade thing, which was something I was supposed to talk about at the start of the episode, because someone did point out like, yeah, that the reasoning is like to why some kids get taken out earlier than others is generally on the quality of the meat, which sort of is determined by their scores in tests and exams and stuff. I mean, the whole science behind that, like a brain that is like, somebody that is considered like a lot like more intelligent has a tastier brain than one that isn't like a higher quality brain. Like I don't know what science that is, but then again, like we're in a world that's so like that's mysterious enough as it is. Like you had Ray, Norman, and Emma talking about how the outside world, like if you're going by logic, and it states that humans are essentially like cattle, all right, and the first sign of like what could be considered as outside the wall life is these like demons or whatever. Then it's probably safe to say that humans might not necessarily be the prime species on this planet, but clearly they have some like there's clearly some, I don't know, like because the demons are fine like talking to Isabella, right? So there's clearly some form of alliance with the two. I don't know if it's just a case of like the only reason why they're letting Isabella live is so that she can do this for them, right? Like if it was like put in place some time before where they were like, oh, like let us live and we will breed more humans for you, and we can make it so you don't ever run out, essentially. Yeah. I don't know if like that's the case or what. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, they seem to really focus sort of like on the brain. It's sort of like when when they're talking about how it's the brain's the important thing. Like, does that mean that they only want that then, or do they eat the whole thing? I don't know. Because if that's the case, then it doesn't matter what quality they would be at. You would let them go when they're as grown as they possibly can be, right? I don't know if it could be a case where they only eat premature, like, humans, because that could be a case if there's there's a reason why Isabella's alive and whatnot. Though I don't know. It's a tough one. I love the setup that they were doing, getting things ready, and putting them in place so that they're there when so they're not carrying it when it eventually comes to escape. Although I can also just like Isabella, like a month from now, sending some other kids to their death as opposed to waiting 2 months. I can also see a case in which like they get everyone together, they're ready to escape, and then oh shit, it's gone. The reason why I think that is because there was a specific moment in this episode where Isabella was saw that Emma, Ray, and Norman weren't at their usual spot, and for some reason, I don't know why they decided to do this. The kids decided to stay next to the wall where they're not supposed to be, right? So I'm gonna have I'm gonna guess that she has that fucking GPS on her at all times. All she has to do, like, it's not going to take much for her to go, oh, wait a minute, they're not at their usual spot. Okay, I'll have a look. Oh, what are they doing there? You know what I mean? It's not going to take any time out of her day to do that, is it? And, I mean, she already suspects Emma anyway, and Norman. So, I feel like she would have done that. And because they were out there next to the wall, she knows where they are, like where they've been. She knows that they're smart. So there's clearly like, I mean, it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to be able to figure out that, yeah, the people that, like, the kids that were there that day was obviously like Emma and Norman. Of course, us as the fucking viewer have seen it, but I think if we even hadn't have seen it, I think you would be able to pick that up. So, I feel like she's going to go there at some point. We might not see it as a viewer, but I can see it being revealed when they go to escape and, oh shit, it's not there. But we're just going to have to wait and see. The new baby, it looks exactly like... It looks like it could be like Emma's little sister. And that would go with the theory before the episode where I said that I don't know if there's certain adults who are out there just breeding kids and giving them to this to Isabella and this orphanage place, because I mean, otherwise, like, she's the little baby has got orange curly hair, and green eyes. So I can only assume that that would be the case. I'm gonna have a look out at some other kids and just see if any of the other ones like look alike to any other kids. Just to see, because yeah, it is a bit coincidental that that kid looks like Emma. And I mean, I didn't even think about that. Like, it's not only the fact that this sister Crone's turned up that makes it even harder, but now you have to worry about a little baby. Like, that is even fuck. I mean, think about that. Like, if these kids get out, right? It's one thing to be like, oh shit, like, these kids are like not even 12. How do you expect them to go out and live on their own? I mean, I'm gonna give them like, I'm gonna give like Emma, Norman, and Ray like the benefit of the doubt. Like those kids being smart, they would probably be able to figure it out. You know, but the rest of them, like, they would be caught up in like, fuck, what the hell do we do? You know what I mean? Like, how are we gonna live? And looking after like that many kids, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot. So in one aspect, you know what I mean? I'm listening to what Ray's saying. I'm like, everything that you're saying is absolutely true. But like, I can't. I wouldn't be able to deal with it. I wouldn't be able to deal with leaving kids there. I just wouldn't. Like, it's just that's. But then what are you gonna do? I feel like this show has to like. There has to be a moment where the three main characters like sort of realize that shit, like if there is like parents like out there, right, that are breeding kids and then giving them to this farm, right, they've got to think like, you know, even if we leave with every one of these kids here, they're still just gonna keep doing this. So I feel like it's gonna have to be a case of they're gonna have to like dismantle the establishment, you know, like they're gonna have to like literally destroy that. I don't know how like you do that, because like aside from killing them, you know what I mean? But are kids really gonna go out of their way and just fucking murder these people? I don't know. But yeah, they didn't even like. Ray put up a sort of fight. Norman didn't, because he likes to see Emma smile. I'm getting death flags, by the way, from Norman at a critical point. I feel like there is going to be a moment where I felt this sort of very vaguely in episode 1, that sort of like Norman gives off that vibe to me of like he's the one that's going to sacrifice himself out of a lot of them, right? I don't think you can't have Emma do it, because she is I feel like even though you've got like the three sort of, you know, and that three is, you know, the three main characters, yeah, but like Attack on Titan, you know what I mean? Yeah, you have the three, and they're sort of like as a group, like you kind of associate them as like the three main characters. But like, you know, but Eren is, you know, he's the main guy. So in this regard, I feel like Emma is the main girl. You know what I mean? She's the one that sort of like is, you know, you have the three sort of kids, and they're like the three main people. But then above that, it's like, well, Emma's the one that's kind of like, you know, the main one. So it's not going to be Emma. And I feel like Ray has a just these like his personality, sort of his character traits about it. Like he sort of has that, because he's cold natured, you know what I mean? Like he's kind of like got that that mentality and that personality. I feel like impact-wise, it's got to be. I mean, it still would be. It'll also be a shocker as well if Ray was the one to do it. I'm basically talking like I know that this is going to happen to one of the three. But I don't know. It just feels like, you know, the way that the way that Norman talks about Emma and whatnot, like you know, like, you know what I mean? I'm going to get everyone out, and you know, I'm going to do it for like you and stuff, and I won't let this kind of shit happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like that those kind of death flags pop up a lot in other shows and things, and like it gets to the point where it almost feels like shit. It is going to happen then at some point. I don't know. Like the most obvious I could tell is like, you know, if obviously shit hits the fan, it's not going to go smoothly. They're trying to get over the wall. you know, Norman has one plan, but only one can make it out. If it's like him and Emma or whatnot, he's going to get Emma up on the wall, and he's not going to be able to get over. And I can see that being the case. Like, he'll end up giving his life for Emma's sake, and I can see that happening. And also, it was, you know, Ray, especially in episode 1, he was talking about, like, you know, surviving and things like that. So if anybody was to go over the wall, like if they were to get over there, the person that you would have to, you know, that you would basically put up there is like, this is the guy that's gonna, you know, sort us out. We're gonna be fine if we're with. It's gonna be Ray, innit? So I feel like he's sort of like a necessity if they do get out of the wall, and over it. So yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know how long this show is going for. If it's just a 1-season thing and it ends up being like 24 episodes, or if it's going to be a seasonal thing, and it may only be like 12 or 13 episodes this season. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. I don't know if they've confirmed that or whatnot. But yeah, the fact that fucking some new person showing up means that yeah, it's going to be much harder to see what's going to happen. I love the fact that they even brought up the prison break in this, because yeah, that's what I felt would be the case. Like, you're stuck in here, you've got to find a way out. And yeah, I love that stuff. So yeah, that's all. So thank you everyone for watching. Episode 3. I know that comes out tomorrow as I'm recording this. I'll see if I can get it recorded. The thing is, tomorrow I have to record ReZero. I have to record and upload a Fate video because I don't have time to do it on Friday because there is a stream. So, you know, if I was to record it, that would mean that I basically have to record 4 videos in one day, which, believe it or not, like, might not sound like much, but it does wear you out recording stuff. Even though, like, you know, I'm just sitting here and I'm watching something I'm talking about, like, you can like, you know, you can look at it and be like, fuck it, well, that's not going to take that can't be much work surely, but it does actually take a lot out of you doing that. But I'll see what I can do. But don't like expect it. If it does come out, then it'll come out, but don't expect it to come out tomorrow. If I can, then I can. If not, then it may be the weekend. Okay, but yeah, that is all. So a few links in the description. There's the Discord. Get yourself over there. I'm over there. Community's over there. Get yourself over. Come talk to us. SirMonkeySuit.com, my website. All of my content is over there. Get yourself over there. Become a member. And in the forums page, there is a reaction recommendation page there where you can upload or post like a show that you want me to react to, and I won't react to it. It needs to go into a poll. So if you post a show there, basically the most liked posts and the most liked shows will be put into a poll, and then the winner of that poll will be the next show that I react to when the next poll comes out. So make sure you go do that. And Patreon. So yeah, I do have a Patreon. If you do want to support me, that would be very much appreciated. There's a bunch of different tiers and rewards depending on how much you want to support me with. So there is early access, that's $5 a month. That gives you access to all the shows I do a week early. And for Fate, the Fate series, you actually get 4 episodes a week, 2 on Monday and 2 on Friday. So if you're clamoring for more reactions from me more frequently, that's where you want to go. $10 a month, that's the full length. So that gives you access to my full length library. Everything I write to gets a full length. Exclusive tier, that's the $15 a month. That gives you access to a bonus show. A bonus reaction show that you get to watch. It's in the middle of a poll right now. Either it's going to be Gurren Lagann, or it's going to be 7 Deadly Sins. I'm going to be reacting to them both, but one has to come before the other. It's in the middle of the poll right now, so we don't know which one's going to be as of yet. But yeah, that's that. $50, that is the elite tier. So for that, you get a choice of a show that you want me to react to, and I will react to it. It'll go in the list. But yeah, it'll go behind about 7 shows. It might take me a while to get around to it, because there is other shows in there. But if you want to jump the queue and go at the very front, then you want to get God tier, which is $100. That means that your show will be reacted to next. But that's all. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.